From solar panels being launched into space to renewable energy generated by your footsteps, today we're looking at the future of power and the innovations changing the way we engage with energy. For more, we welcome back futurist and author Michael McQueen. G'day, Michael.
Good morning.
China has joined the US and the UK by announcing plans to put massive solar panels into space and beam the power back to Earth. Tell us more. This is fascinating.
Yeah, this would have to be one of the more extraordinary tech stories of the year, I reckon. So this was announced last month. The plan is to have these things, and these are massive solar panels, like we're talking a mile long in space, and they'll collect the solar electricity, transmit it via microwaves, like laser back to Earth. It then gets converted to electricity, goes into the grid, and these things will produce as much as a nuclear power station. So interestingly, this has been theorised for a long time. Back in 1941, this was actually floated as an idea, but it looks likely to become a reality.
Wow,
yeah,
it makes sense, doesn't it, when you think...
Well, no clouds up there, so, uninterrupted sunshine. The next is flooring panels that allow footsteps to be turned into electricity. Please explain.
Yeah, so we're used to counting our steps to see how much energy we've burned, but the reality is our steps will probably create energy over the next little while. And this has been some stuff developed by a team of scientists and engineers in Switzerland. What they're doing is they're actually creating floor panels that are coated with a special surface. So as the two panels move together or get squished together as we walk on them, they create electricity that just like, if you had a balloon and rubbed it on your hair, it creates static electricity that can be transferred. Exactly the same techniques. They've actually demonstrated a floor panelling section the size of like an A4 sheet of paper that produces enough electricity to power an LED globe. So it gives you a sense of just how real this stuff's becoming.
Wow.
Dance floors? How much energy have you produced in the last couple of weeks?
Burning
Literally.
up. Wow, it puts some new meaning into that, doesn't it? Roads that can charge your electric car while you drive. This is becoming a real thing. This sounds cool. This is a game changer.
This is huge. So I've been watching this for a couple of years now. There's been lots of different trials happening in different parts of the world, but this is going to be a real game changer for electric vehicles, because right now the big issue is range and reliability. So some interesting research done last year by the University of California found that 20% of people who've bought an electric vehicle swapped back to owning a fuel-powered car because of issues around reliability and charging. So this technology is a bit like, you've got a charging pad for your phone. You put your phone on and your phone charges overnight, for instance. Exactly the same technology, but for our cars. And right now, the most interesting work in this space is done by the Indiana Department of Transportation, teaming up with a German cement manufacturer to be testing this stuff as we speak. And this is huge because if our cars can be charged by the roads as we drive along them, the batteries can be smaller and the prices will come way down on electric vehicles. So that could be the key that unlocks this for a lot of us owning them.
Yeah, great idea, but there's millions and millions and millions of kilometres of road that, that's a big job.
Yeah, initial expense,
Correct.
definitely. But, beyond cars, then you have buses and trains, etc., that could do the same thing. Small-scale nuclear fusion plants are close to becoming a reality. We always wonder, don't we, with nuclear, is this the right way to go? Why is this so significant?
Well, we've talked a lot in the last few weeks, even about nuclear submarines, and that sort of reignited all the debate about should we rely on nuclear more? Is it safe? Is it not? The important thing to talk about here is the difference between nuclear fission and fusion. So these are nuclear fusion plants for generating power, whereas nuclear fission, which is like the Chernobyl type stuff, is created by splitting atoms. This is power generated by combining atoms. So it's actually the same way that stars produce light and power. So it's incredibly safe. In fact, the only byproduct is helium, which is interesting because we've had a lack of that on the planet over the last few years. But what's cool about this is these things, in fact, a Canadian company is the first one to develop these at a small scale that are efficient. And they've been trying to do this for years. They're building it now in Oxfordshire in the UK. They want to have it open by 2025. And this could be the key to a carbon-free future for electricity. So watch nuclear fusion. This is going to be a very interesting space in the next few years.
And finally, IKEA has begun selling sustainable power in Sweden. Makes sense, they sell everything else. So,
imagine a product from IKEA that there's no Allen key involved at all. But and what's interesting is, they're not new to this in a way. So in 11 of their markets, they actually sell solar panels and solar systems for generating power already. But what's interesting is they're now selling to consumers power that's been generated by solar or wind. And this is key because I think that their stated plan is not to become a net zero emissions company, but a climate positive company. And so this is a key part of what they want to do in terms of driving that agenda. So I think we'll see in the next few years lots of different companies come into this space in ways that will sort of shake up the market and make it a whole lot more competitive for all of us as consumers.
That's an important space to be. Thank you so much, Michael. We love hearing the predictions. For more insight and future trends and predictions, you can check out Michael's new book. It's called The New Now, and it's out now.